There are 3 things I'm going to teach you today. Number 1 is I statements. Number 2 will be how to level up. And number 3 is how to change your actual identity. Now, these might sound like they're all kind of unrelated, but realistically, they all come down to one thing: how you see yourself. I'm Sasha, and I teach holistic solutions for mind, body, spirit alignment. Welcome to my channel. I am so excited that you are here. Let's get started. Today we're going to talk about how to access your conscious mind so that you can literally make changes that will alter ultimately your entire path in life. It could alter habits that you really want to let go of. It can alter just the way you perceive the world and the situations and circumstances around you. It'll help you become either a happier person or a more understanding person, just because you can access how your mind is actually working. So the 3 steps are fairly simple, but they do take practice. Step 1 is to go ahead and say it. So you're going to say it like it's a fact, like it means something. So you're going to use an I statement. I am fit. I am healthy. I am worthy of a promotion. I run a successful business. I love this, whatever it is you're trying to, I no longer do this, whatever the statement is that you're trying to achieve. So whatever the goal that you're trying to achieve, you're going to turn it into an I statement, because the brain does not see things as fact unless it identifies with its core. It's the main identity has to be churned into something that is real. Okay. So if I say I am a turtle, I am a kangaroo, my brain says, no, you're not. My identity is aware that I am a human, right? Human, not a turtle or a kangaroo. That is a factual statement in my brain. So I already know in my identity that I'm a human. I am not a turtle. I'm not a kangaroo. So if I make a statement like that, my brain says, no, you're lying or you're joking, but that's not real. But if you make a statement that says, I run a successful business, and your brain's identity says, no, you don't, then it's the same as you saying I'm a turtle or I am a kangaroo. Your brain literally doesn't believe it. But if you say I run a successful business and your brain says, yeah, you do. Hey, I'm worthy of a promotion. Yeah, you are. Or I am going to accomplish, a marathon, or I am going to complete a marathon, then your brain says, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's happening. And then all of your change, all of the changes that you need to actually do, working out to get to that marathon, or eating right so that you are healthy enough to run a marathon, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, let's say losing weight or quitting smoking or doing, whatever you want to do, your brain has to see it as a fact. And if you don't tell it it's a fact, it doesn't know it's a fact. And so anything that's not a fact, your brain just lets go of. It's unimportant, and it just comes in and goes right back out. So you need to first start with telling it this is a fact. So say it is the very first step in achieving your goals, or to make any kind of lasting change in your mind. And the statements are very, very simple. You just say, I am, and then fill in blank, or I do, fill in blank, or I want, fill in blank. Okay? The next step is to go ahead and visualize it. Now, there's 2 ways to visualize. Main visualization is just closing your eyes or kind of nodding off into sort of a daydream state, and just, imagining that thing being real in your life. Imagining you go on vacation, imagining you running a marathon and passing the finish line, imagining just working out every single night, or, imagining eating right and making healthy food choices. Just visualize that. Now, a lot of us do get stuck in the visualization phase, because what happens is, just like the I statements where your brain says, no, that's not real, visualizing can feel very uncomfortable and very fake and very false, because if we're trying to visualize something that we have had a hard time accomplishing in the past, or something that may be a little bit of a stretch of what we think is real for us, or what we think we can manifest for ourselves, your brain does the same kind of scenario where it says, no, that's not real. That's not going to happen. So instead of just visualizing, if you're able to do that, that's fantastic. But if you're struggling with it, the best thing that I have been able to work around with it, and what I've seen success at, is just sit down like you're in a movie theater in your mind. You're just gonna, you're gonna walk into a movie theater just like you would have any other time you've walked into a theater, or you're watching a show on TV or watching a show somewhere. You're just gonna kind of walk in your mind. You can have popcorn if you want, or whatever you want with you, whatever makes it as realistic for you as possible. You're just going to walk in, you're going to sit down, and you're going to watch a movie of that thing that you want to visualize. So this is a workaround in the brain, because the brain is saying, oh, okay, well, my reality is I'm watching a show. That's cool. I get that. That's real for me. But you're still making the same change. You're still getting the synapse connection to fire in a different way. And so by watching yourself, you're still accomplishing the same goal of convincing your brain that that's real and that's doable. Because if you sit down in a movie theater in your mind and you're watching yourself finish that goal that you want to do, get a raise, run a marathon and finish that, go across the finish line, or just, spend more time, hiking, or, eating right, your visualization is of you. And so your brain's going to say, oh, that's me. I can do that. I can accomplish that. That makes sense. I can see myself doing that. So it's a nice little workaround. And so you want to combine the I statements with the actual visualization. And then the third step is sort of like brings it all together. It comes to fruition when you actually feel the feeling. So the first step is to say I am, and then fill in blank. The second step is to visualize, but the third step is to feel it. And that's where, again, you might get kind of a hiccup. Start and kind of, visual, say it, see it, and then do it. Feel the feelings of doing it. If you're finding hiccups in this, that's okay. You're gonna go with the finale or the finished product. So just like you were watching a movie, if you're like, okay, I'm watching a sweet romantic movie and I feel, maybe you start to mist up and you feel like, oh, this is such a sweet movie. I love this movie. And you start to feel feelings. That's what you want to feel towards your visualization. You want to feel the pride that it has, overwhelmed you. You want to feel like the love or the endearing, sense of accomplishment that you've achieved that goal. So you want to really try to hone in those feelings and make it as real as possible. Even if you're, sitting on your floor and starting to mist up while you're visualizing your future, that's okay. That's perfect, because that's bringing it all together, and your mind, body, spirit all connects, and you find flow, and your body and your mind are now connected, and it's really saying, this is fact. I've done it. Your mind doesn't know the difference between past, present, and future. So if you are visualizing a future circumstance that you want to have happen, and now you're applying the statements that make it fact, and the visual that you've already seen it, and the feeling of already feeling what it's like to have done it, your brain doesn't know the difference. Your brain has now successfully been tricked or programmed or trained into understanding that that is a real thing for you. That's a reality, and that is going to come for you. And so I would encourage you to practice this a lot and really kind of hone in. If you're trying to accomplish a lot of goals, it's going to take sort of your energy from the goal at hand. So just like you can only really, multitask in so many dimensions in so many ways every single day, you can only have so many things on your to-do list. Try to pick one or two things that you really want to accomplish, right away, and start practicing. Say the statements, visualize, and then feel it. And then once that starts to actually kind of get momentum, then start adding things onto your to-do list, basically in your mind, and then start to really kind of hone in that skill so you can make things happen and flourish for you on a regular basis and have lasting change, which is so amazing when you get the lasting change and you can really say, wow, I made this happen. And now that I know that I can make this happen, I can make these other things happen as well. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I would love to hear comments down below and read your comments and see what you've done as well. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.